Alrighty, Shannon here for This Is Fit Workouts Inside the Hoop, and today we are going to start working on leg hooping. Now I want to say before we get started that leg hooping is probably one of the most challenging things I ever worked on. It took me weeks and hours, and there was so much frustration, and I was certain I was never going to get it, and then once I got it, I could just leg hoop. I couldn't move it, I couldn't get it back up. And that took more weeks and more strain. So hopefully we can throw together some tips that can help you out, but I don't want you to get frustrated. This is like chest hooping and like shoulder hooping. This one takes lots of time and practice to get. Couple of things to definitely keep in mind is that you're going to want a bigger hoop, but hopefully not one that's super heavy. The reason being that the super heavy hoops can lead to bruising. So if you're able to get your hands on a lighter hoop, I know Trinity Star Hoops that is linked with us from thisisfitworkouts.com have great deals, and they will customize the hoop for you, which is super awesome. They made this one. It looks like a bigger, heavier hoop, but it's actually super lightweight. That being said about bruising, it's not uncommon to have some bruising around your legs. We're working with spinning some plastic around parts of your body that aren't used to having plastic spun around them. So don't be alarmed if you do end up with some bruising, but do take a break. Don't overwork that area. Yeah, just make sure when you have some bruising, let it heal up before you try again. Also, you notice I'm wearing shorts, the shortest shorts I have. Because naked legs are going to make it way easier for you to leg hoop. It's just that it's the stickiness of the skin is going to help grab onto the hoop for you. Make sure you're on a nice flat surface too. So big hoop, flat surface, naked legs are going to be your friend in this move. Now, because I want us to start with some success, I'm going to start by spinning the hoop around the legs in the beginning so that you can experience that. And then next week, I'll start to talk about moving it from the waist and transitioning down into the knees. So for now, what I want you to do is I want you to take your hoop and I want you to get it on the back of your knees. And you're going to spin it just like you do when you're getting ready for your waist hooping. Chances are you're going to go in the exact same direction as your native direction when you are waist hooping. So for me, I'm going to throw it to the left, and then I'm going to start. Now, legs close together are best for leg hooping. And what I want to show you is a couple of different ways to keep the hoop moving. You'll notice here that, let's do this way. I'm going to put all my weight on my right leg. My left leg, my heel is slightly off the ground, and it is giving the hoop a little extra push. It is grabbing it almost and throwing it around the body. Whereas all that's happening with my right leg is it's my balance. It's making sure it's moving a little bit, but it's making sure I'm balanced, while the left leg is like, oh yeah, I got you, hoop. I'm gonna give you a little toss, and it's throwing it around my body. Speed is my friend in the beginning right now. You can hear my heart rate's already going up. And also posture. When I was learning this, I spent a lot of time looking down like this, and I actually ended up with a bit of a neck injury. So make sure that you're standing tall and looking forward. A mirror can really help with this, because then you can actually have a look and see what you're doing, and you don't have to look down. It forces you to have that solid, strong posture that we talk about with all the hoop moves. So that's one way, which is a bit of a pump action, where I'm relying on one leg to remain planted in the ground and the other one to be doing sort of this heel off the ground, sort of this push, where it's actually grabbing the hoop and throwing it around. Kind of like shoulder hooping, where you've got the one side grabbing it and throwing it around. Experiment with what leg feels better. I've been at this for a while, so I can go with either leg, but you'll notice if you're hooping to the left and you're throwing with your right, it isn't a move where you're going to grab and push. This leg is actually almost grabbing and pulling. So it's, you know, the momentum or the push is going in this direction on the right, whereas with your left leg, it's going to be going in that sort of out direction. So play around and find if either way feels better. Okay, then for some, it's going to be better to share the load. So what I'm doing here is it's almost like a rocking or a pumping, a rocking motion, I'm going to say, where both legs are involved. My feet are flat on the ground, and I'm pushing forward with both of my legs, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right. So they're both sharing the load on this one. And for some people that feels better. I've heard it also referred to as sort of the pee-pee dance. Like if you turn, so you'll notice your feet turn in a little bit, like you gotta go pee. And so now your knees are locked together, your legs are good, and everybody's pushing in that motion. So those are two different ways. One is the one leg is solid in the ground being your balance, and the other leg is being your push or your pull. And then the other one is knees are nice and close together and both legs are doing the motion to get the hoop going around. This one is not my favorite, so we'll see if I can even pull it off. And so what it is that way, okay, it's more of a side to side motion, which I'm not demonstrating very well. But it's like both legs are trying to move you in a circle. And I have a hard time getting my legs to cooperate to do that. But basically they're almost doing the same motion that your waist would do in waist hooping, but your legs are going to try and do that together. And it will get your heart rate up through the roof. And you will drop the hoop a lot. So let's review what we went through here. We want to start leg hooping. We are going to make sure we wear shorts as shorter as possible, because once we start moving that up and down, you're going to want lots of leg room to grip with. There's different ways to move the hoop on your legs. Something that I wish I'd known when I started hooping, and I'll talk about this when we do the transitioning, is that it's a different motion. I'm using a different part of my body to grip and grab the hoop. So it's not going to feel like hooping, which comes from my core, because now it's my legs and they are doing a different motion. So to try and remember now that the energy or the force of where you're coming from is really, you're asking your legs for the help this time, and your spine to keep the rest of your body nice and tall. Okay, so I'm going to start with the hoop out front. My feet are firmly planted in the ground. I'm going to turn my whole body so I can get a really big spin, and when it starts, I'm going to plant that right leg, and my left leg is going to be doing the pulling. He's the boss, he's doing the pulling. He's waiting for the hoop to come around, and he's going to grab and pull and grab and pull. Or maybe my right prefers to do that, so all my weight now is on my left, and my right is giving it a push in this direction. Or I feel better with two legs involved, and now I'm doing more, I'm pumping it, and both legs are getting involved. Maybe knees together, or even legs apart, and I'm like pumping 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1. So there are a variety, I guess what I'm pointing out is there's a variety of different ways to keep the hoop moving around your legs, and each one of us is going to have the one that clicks for us in the beginning. And once that one clicks and you're solid, then you can start to play with the others. So I wanted to give you as much variety as I could here in the beginning, so that you could start to play with it and hopefully experience some success. And when I say success, to me success is having the hoop spin around twice and then fall, and pick it up and try again. So like I said, leg hooping is a challenging one. It can cause some bruising, especially if you have a super heavy hoop. Posture. Make sure you stand tall, find a mirror so you're looking in it. Make sure you have a big hoop so that you have more time for those legs to get into place. Play with either, you know, the motion where I've got my right leg planted and left leg is throwing, or my left leg planted and my right leg is pushing, or I've got the knees together and I'm doing sort of the pee-pee dance, or the knees are apart and I'm doing that same rocking motion. Those are the 4 ways that I've had the most success, and I hope that one of them resonates with you. Get out there, give it your best, and next week we'll look at moving it from the waist to the knees so that we can put those 2 moves together. Until then, I'll see you next time inside the hoop.